Hey everybody, welcome back to ZR Chess. My name's Zach, and I'm going over a game that I played last week. And kind of just going over reviewing it, analyzing it. I already did analyze it, and I think there's a lot we can learn from this game. And then I might play a game, we'll see. And let's get started. Alright, so started off with knight f3, and then I come to the center. I'm going for, once he plays that, I'm kind of going for a reverse London here, playing black. And as a London for black, so I'm doing everything I would do as white. I'm just kind of bring this here, this up here, and you know, in the center here. So that's kind of what happened. Went ahead and did this. Everything looks okay so far. White's not developing much in the center. It's kind of keeping it close to the chest, and I can't say that's a great strategy, but you know, everybody has their own openings. I'm not sure exactly what this opening is besides, you know, King's Indian. So go ahead and bring this out like I do with the London. Remember, I don't normally like to have my pawn here because it's limiting. My knight can't come here. So usually I push a pawn forward, even here as white. So push a pawn forward. He comes out, and he's got this fianchetto now. He has weakened his king side for this bishop. And this bishop could be very strong, except right now my pawn is here blocking his whole diagonal. So at this point, this bishop is not strong at all, and I want to keep it that way. So I bring my knight here, and this is a mistake. And see if you can pause and tell me why. It's not super clear. This isn't like a great tactic or anything. This is just subtle strategy. So this was a poor move because queen came down to a4, and it pinned my knight to my king. There's no danger here to my knight at the moment. However, this was very annoying because I don't want something like a pawn coming up and attacking me, or something happening here and two pieces attacking my knight. And I need to get out of this pin quick and see if I can castle. So I go bishop e7, trying to castle quick, and then he plays knight e5, and this was what was really annoying about this. He's attacking the knight twice now. I can't move the knight because it's pinned. I'm only defending it once, and now I have to defend it again with the queen. Now with this defense, I attacked the knight, which was nice, so I got a little counterattack going, and but I need to keep the pressure off this knight so I can castle, because castling is very important for me right now. It frees up my knight, and it limits any attacks he might have on me. Pawn comes up, attacking my bishop, so I must move the bishop, right? I chose not to, actually. There's a better move here, and see if you can tell me what it is. Alright, so it's actually queen takes e5, the knight on e5. And the reason is we're pinning the pawn to the king. The bishop cannot be taken, and we just want a free knight. He had missed that here. It's a very subtle move, so with this move here, he left the knight undefended, thinking that he was making a counterattack, when in fact he was not. He was essentially neutered after this. He couldn't do anything. So he wants to open that back up. He went ahead and castled, and I got out of dodge with my bishop. So went out with the bishop. I didn't want to come up here because then after some attacks, I'd be led down here anyway, and it just might be ugly. I didn't have time to calculate it super far. I wanted to move ahead quickly. I was already down 2 minutes in time, and so I just did this because it's a safe move to do. He plays d4, attacking my queen. Remember, I still have this pressure on the knight and the pin here that I'm trying to deal with, and now I have to deal with this queen. And his bishop still looks atrocious, by the way, so I have to do something about this. I went ahead and took the pawn, and he decided not to take back because I would take, no I wouldn't, I would take back here. Anyway, he decided not to take back, and he played knight f3, attacking the queen again and the pawn again. I didn't want to take the pawn here because of knight takes d4, and after knight takes d4, I'm exposed here. He's attacking my knight twice, and I would have to move my queen here. So once I move back, then he's free to take this, take this, take this, and I have just lost a rook. And that's what I was thinking during the game, because this is just disgusting. And that would be a loss. I'd go ahead and resign right there. So taking this pawn wasn't really an option. I couldn't take it with this either because my queen's under attack. So I really had to just move the queen. I came down to c7 to attack, defend this knight again, and he went ahead and played e5, attacking the knight. And I can't attack this back for two reasons, also because it's protected by this. So I played knight g4. This was a mistake, and see if you can tell me why. So this was a mistake not because of what he did next, but because of what I opened him up to. A better move, let's just say first, would have been knight d7. Knight d7 is a beautiful move. We're attacking this pawn. We are breaking the pin on this, so I can now move the knight however I wish. And the knight is still protected by this pawn. We broke the pin, attacking the pawn, everything's great. And instead, when I played knight g4, we'll see here in a minute what happens. So he went ahead and played knight takes d4, and I made a blunder here. So I'll let you, I went ahead and castled. Get out of this line of sight. I still got two pieces defending the knight, and I took it off of the pin. I was worried about taking it off the pin. This was a blunder, and pause the video, see if you can tell me why. The reason this was a blunder was because of knight b5, and see if you can see why this was all messed up. He's attacking my queen, and my queen can really go anywhere, except it can't move anywhere that protects this knight after that discovered attack. When he moved his knight here, he is now attacking my knight, and there's nothing I can do to save it and save my queen. So he went ahead and evened up material at this point because of that. And that was the blunder a few minutes ago, putting the knight here on g4. So I went ahead and took on e5, get a free pawn out of it, even though I'm going to lose this. And he went ahead and played an interesting move. He didn't take this knight, which was a blunder on his part. I'm not even sure he saw that, which is kind of crazy. He's a 1900 level player. He must have missed. Remember, I always tell you, lateral queen moves are hard to see. We both missed it. I missed it, but I saw it enough to correct it next move, but he missed it this turn. So he went ahead and played bishop f4, attacking my queen. I had saw this coming, and this was okay. So from here, I went ahead and went queen e2. I'm defending the knight in case I ever need to. I'm attacking this pawn here, and I'm kind of getting my queen just in his territory. After this, he went ahead and played h3, trying to kick my knight away, which did work. I went ahead and played f6, knight f6, and trying to get in a decent position here to launch my endgame attack. He went ahead and played b3, getting the pawn out of harm's way, and I can't attack this pawn. So then I went ahead and played knight e4. And knight e4, I liked. It's defended by not only a pawn, but a bishop and a queen. This is a nice outpost. This bishop has been dormant all game, not doing anything. Fianchetto was not right for this player in this game. It did not work because I shut that down immediately. This bishop's pretty good, but this bishop is just trash. It's just a tall pawn. From here, he went ahead and attacked my queen, and I kind of just moved out of the way, kind of just sidestepped that, and he went in and attacked it again. I moved out of the way, and this was his mistake this time. He attacked with the other rook. If he would have attacked with the same rook, it wouldn't have been so bad. I'll go over that in a minute, but he went ahead and attacked with this rook, and which left me open to take on f2 check. And for that f2 check, he moves back, and at this point, he went ahead and resigned, but it wouldn't have been pretty either way after knight takes with check, bishop takes, queen takes, and I'm up a full piece, and his kingside is just destroyed. His queen's not doing anything over here. This bishop's still trash. My bishops are both great. I've got the bishop pair, and his knight is kind of over here in no man's land. I've got both my center pawns. He has flanking pawns, not many of them. I'm only down one pawn. This was just going to be a win anyway, which is why I resigned. Now, this wasn't the best move, obviously. If he would have went rook d1, and the correct move would have been h5, and after something like g4, we come over here to we come up to h4, and then we can come here and escape and try to get out however we can. So that was my plan, and ended up winning the game. So I hope there's a lot to learn there on this one, and I hope to see you guys next time. If you liked the video, subscribe, like it, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you saw anything in the game that I missed, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks.